Okay, it's happening. So if you've been following my other videos, you would know that I've taken this year off and saved up some money, and so I can sort of find out who I am, where I'm going, what I want in life. And I set in motion back in February that I wanted to run a kids channel on YouTube. And the reason I want to do that is because it's just something that I enjoy. I love being creative. If I'm not creative every day, I go nuts. So I put in motion a kids channel on YouTube. And I had a couple of little successes. You know, I think at one point, remember, we're starting from scratch. And this was all part of my manifestation plan, yeah? So I had probably 2 months ago, I ended up getting just over 2,000 views on one video. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is on the way up. Then, you know, there was a bit of a gap, and then I got like 1,600 views, bit of a gap, 1,000 views. But those gaps in between were like 17 views, you know, like really disappointing. And I've done 10 videos, 10 in a row since I did the last big one. I got 1,000 views. And I know it sounds small, but when you're starting off, you know, you're a needle in a haystack. And I've posted a video today, and it's up to 883 views in 2 hours, which might sound, yeah, who cares? But if you've done YouTube long enough, you know that when you start escalating, and it's a quick escalating, it means they're testing you quite fast, and the reaction rate's good. Now, you might be wondering, what has this got to do with anything? Well, what it's got to do with is the last 3 days, I have had more anxiety and more panic attacks in my own head since, my God, probably my divorce. I've felt agitated. I have felt inadequate. I have felt annoyed. I have felt frustrated. I have felt every feeling all at once, not just, you know, some here, some there. No, all at once for 3 days straight. And I thought, my God, when is this going to end? When is this going to end? And then today I thought, you know what? I'm going to post a video. I'm going to post a video on the kids channel and and see what happens. And even though it's only under 1,000 views, it just shows me that had I had stopped, you know, even one video ago, who knows where this video is going to go. And it's not about this video. It's about the momentum. It's about the movement. It's about having an idea in my head and putting it into action, and then that momentum coming. And that's with anything. So I know, like a couple of video goes, I said, a couple of video ago, I said to you guys, I'm in the process of, you know, I know some things that I want in my life. They haven't eventuated yet. So sort of let's do it together. And I am very much still in the process of working that out. And I'm not going to lie, it's so hard. When you're having those anxiety moments and they last days on end, and you can't see anything in the tangible world that has changed or is any different, or if you're even half succeeding at anything, it is so hard to just go by faith. But the one thing I'm learning is that's exactly what you need to do. I read this thing that God will never be angry if you lose faith, because he can work with an angry child. So if you're upset with above, that's because you actually believe in above, and you actually rely on above, and you actually believe the things that you feel on the inside that are meant for you. And so when you start to lose hope and lose faith, that's because you have a real relationship with up there. You know, God can work with an angry child. He can't work with a ghost. Let that one sink in for a minute, because it took me a minute. The hardest thing is they want you to trust when you can't see. When you can't see, because sometimes you're not meant to see. And they want you to abide and follow, even if you can't see what you're following, because you should be able to feel it. It should be something that you feel in your guts, and changing your life is something that you can do. No one else can do it for you. No one else is going to come in and, swap your job, swap your relationship, swap where you're living. No one's going to do that. Only you can do that. But you have to be willing, and this is what I'm realizing, is you have to be able to accept that for a long time, you're going to be walking literally in the dark. It is going to be pitch black. But you got to remember that's what you asked for. And that's a hard one, because while you're going to work in a job that you hate, you're receiving an income. And so you're like, okay, I hate this job, but here's the income. It pays A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. Or this is my goal and I'm working towards it, but I can't see any results at all. But if it's meant for you, you should be able to walk through the dark. And it is so hard. I'm not even going to pretend it's not hard. It's so hard. Oh God, these last 3 days have been horrendous. Horrendous. I've had more panic attacks in my head, and no one knows about them, than I have in years. And I know why, because everything's different. I'm not working right now. I'm raising kids on my own. I'm living in a different location. Everything that I knew is gone. Everything. And the funny thing is, I didn't even like what I had. I didn't like what I had. And yet I miss the familiar. And that is a trap. That is an absolute trap. If you are uncomfortable every day, you're doing the right thing. If you are scared every day because you don't know what tomorrow brings, you're doing the right thing. If you know what tomorrow brings and you are happy with that, that's one thing. But if you know what tomorrow brings and you're unhappy with that, you're in the wrong place. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rubbish. Just got to keep moving. Keep moving. It is so easy for that darkness side to come over, but you've got to keep moving. Because at the end of every darkness, there's light. And you don't want to miss out right before that finish line, right before. Things always get the hardest right before you're about to bounce, right before you're about to get close, right before you're about to change. Things get so hard because they don't want you to know what the life is on the other side. It's much easier to keep you contained and still and in one place. It is so much easier to control that. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.